Well, hey, Waterway, I just wanted to check in with you guys. And I know you've seen probably the big video that's kind of intended for everybody to watch, but I wanted to speak to you just as a congregation. And as you can see behind me right here in the sanctuary, we've got, for right now, half the room is set up for kind of a social distancing kind of space. As you can see, we haven't done that yet with the other half of the room. It's still kind of as it has been the last couple of months. And I just want to share my heart with you. I know a lot of you are feeling like I am. You really kind of can't wait until we can be back to normal, right? I mean, we know that there are things about our old normal that need to be better, and we know that we as people can't go back to where we were. But I just want to share with you how hungry I am for us to be together again, not having this social distancing thing hanging over us, not having to wear masks, not having to not shake hands or not give hugs. I just can't wait until coming to Waterway Church is kind of the full experience of being close with my friends as we worship God. But as you know, we're not there yet. I would encourage you, and here's how I'm trying to think about it. I'm looking at June 6th and 7th, and honestly, probably most of the month of June, as really just kind of a soft opening. Many of you know that we were planning for a big open house here about a month after we first moved in. We wanted to have a couple of weeks of worship services so we knew what was going on before we opened the doors to everybody with a big celebration. I guess I'm thinking about this first month of being open as kind of that kind of way, because most of the world is just not ready to join us yet in a full, no holds barred kind of an atmosphere, even though some of us have been ready for so long. And so we've just got to really bear with each other. And this is tough. I know in our elder meetings, in our leadership team meetings, as we talk with the property team and with the custodian, we haven't all been at the same place initially with what we think the best way is to do every little detail. But we've talked about it together, we've prayed about it together, and we're unified now. We kind of came together on all the stuff that you're hearing about. But this is a challenge. And I just want all of us to make sure that we've got that we've got our expectations in line. If you come in on June 6th or June 7th and you're expecting the exact same kind of atmosphere and energy and buzz that we had on February 15th or 22nd when we were first in here, you're going to be really disappointed. It's probably just not going to be that way, just because there are limitations. But we can still worship. We can still praise God and pray together and sing to Him. It's just got to be modified for a while. I know you understand that, but for a lot of us, it's really hard to come to terms with that. Just asking you to hang in there, and I'm saying thank you for the patience that so many of you have shown so far. Because, boy, we would have loved to have been able to be together full on the whole time. Keep praying, please, for this church. Keep praying for our community, because there are some people out there that are really, really concerned about their health. Some are even deathly afraid of even going out of their houses. I know a lot of you aren't there. A lot of us don't feel that way. But please keep praying for our neighborhood, for our mission, for our church, and pray for these upcoming gatherings in June. That even despite some of the limitations, that we can come together and offer God the sweet aroma of worship. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you hanging in, and let's keep praying as we stay on our mission to help everybody we know become more like Jesus. Hey, Waterway, I got back to the office here and I realized there were two things that I forgot to tell you in that last little video. And I didn't feel like going back and redoing it all, because there's a pretty good chance that I'm as tired of making videos as you are of watching them. But two details for you. First of all, you saw that we have our sanctuary set up today. Half of it is set up in kind of a social distancing kind of a strategy. When you arrive for worship in June, you'll see that the whole sanctuary will be that way. And we can seat about 80 or 85 people in the room with plenty of space between families. The question comes up, if you arrive at 7 o'clock on Saturday night or 9 o'clock or 10:30 on Sunday morning, how do we know that we're not going to overload one service or another? Well, what we're asking you to do is sign up ahead of time, and you'll see sign-ups will be open next week. But sign up ahead of time for the worship service that you'd like to attend. Let us know who's coming, how many of you are coming, and we'll have seats reserved for you and laid out for you when you arrive. The way to do do that, you can, if you are super pinched on technology, you can email the church office and just tell us. But what we'd really like you to do, and what would be a big help, is if you can use the Waterway Church app that we have available through Ministry One. The way to get that app on your phone is to go to Ministry One in your app store or wherever it is that you get your apps for your devices. Go to Ministry One, download that app. On many devices, it looks like a white cross on a purple field. So download the Ministry One app, and when it asks you to find your church, type in Waterway, and you'll see that Waterway Church will pop up. Take care of that. If you're using Alexio already, you can sign in with your information there, and that will link with this Ministry One app, and that means that you can have your whole directory online. It'll be right there in the palm of your hands. But even if you're not signed up with Alexio, or even if a person has no real association with Waterway at all, they can still download the Waterway app, or the Ministry One app, get connected with Waterway, and you'll see all kinds of options on there for online giving, for sermon archives, and to send messages to the church office. But under the events button, you'll see upcoming events, you'll see times and dates for worship services, and that's where you can go to sign up and just let us know when you'll be attending so we can be prepared and know about how many people to expect at each time. That was detail number 1. Thank you for the time to let me share that. Detail number 2. I know for some, and I've heard this from a number of people, the sentiment has been, boy, it just won't feel like church if I have to wear a mask, if I have to stay distant from people. That doesn't feel like what I'm looking for, and I get it. I understand. If you are really dying to be with some other believers in a worship service, I wanted to let you know that both Mount Vernon Christian Church and Andrews Bridge Christian Fellowship are having outdoor services, and some of the regulations there are just a little bit more relaxed than what we're doing here. In fact, they're open this week, May 31st, and so I know Pastor Tony at Mount Vernon would love to see you, or Pastor Nathan as he's preaching at Andrews Bridge. They've got room for anybody who comes, and they'd be glad to see you. Mount Vernon worships at 9 o'clock in the morning, and Andrews Bridge worships at 10. Like I said, they're outdoors, and they'll give you instructions when you get there. They're great churches, great pastors, good friends of mine, and if you'd like something that, like I said, is just a little bit more loose, that's an option for you, somewhere that you might visit in the next couple weeks. But just wanted to keep you up to date. I know it's a lot of video today, but I hope you'll be able to plug in and just know what's going on. If you have any questions, call or text the church office, and we'll get back in touch with you. We want to make sure that everybody knows as much as possible about what's going on. Hey, blessings, folks. Can't wait to see you again.